We are live. That is right where it's supposed to be. All right. We are live in this beach. We are live in this. All right, this is good. All right, okay. The second one at it again. Let me see if I can make this adjustment. Second one at it again. This time we're not by the fire. This time we are just here. Why love don't make sense. Why love don't make sense. Check me out. Privacy, audience, entertainment. The Afro one is here without the Afro. Why love don't make sense. And I got 2 poems I can give you guys for tonight. So get in the chat. Let me know if you want to hear the poem. And let's do this, man. Yo, so check it out. I have so at times, like any of us, shit just be on our minds, right? And I'll tell you like this. I was just chilling and actually no, I wasn't chilling, I was doing shit. But I was running, moving around, doing stuff, and I'm trying to think of tonight. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna stream, and I'm gonna figure out what I wanna talk about tonight. And I like, so for me, how I do this, I'll get a topic or something that's like on my mind, and what I'll do like either like kind of like a research on it, or like and I'll also like break it apart, the conversation about like what sections, what points I want to talk about and stuff like that. And today was kind of like of a point where I was like kind of, I didn't feel like doing all of that. And so I was like, okay, what's the topic that I had spoken about before that many haven't seen, and what, you know, how I wanted to get to all that. Y'all want to see my kitten, Kai. But anyways, so when I was doing that, I was thinking about that, and I was like, we could do the love and respect one. I'll see love and respect, like love versus respect, like what you want, love versus respect. And people had done it before, so I was very hesitant. Like, I don't want to do this. I've heard this and seen people do this in content. With that said, I was like, nah, we're not gonna do the love and respect. But so while I'm thinking about it, while doing the things I was doing and taking care of things around the house and stuff, I was like, nah, you know what? I didn't even know, it just came to my mind where just love. Because I was thinking about the difference between love, respect, and what would you rather have? And I was just thinking about love in general. And it just came to my mind. It's like, you know what? Love don't be making sense. It's like we be loving people, and it don't be making sense why we love them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you feel me on that, feel me on that. Like, believe it, think about it. You love think about all the people that you love. And some of you overly love everybody. And some of you, like, you know, it's, you know, there's only a few people you love. But really think about the people that you truly love and think, why do you love them? It can even go as deep and as on it as like your parents. Like, it's like, why do you love your mom? Why do you love your dad? Why do you love your brother? Why do you love your sister, cousins, best friend, and so on and so on? Like, why do you love these people? Like, what is the reasons? Do you really even think about that? Because at times, we know I love this person because they got my back. They always this, and that, right? But at times it's like, all right, what else? And like, why is that? Like, why is that important to you? And so I go in all into this deep to go and say, it's like, think about it like this. You be like, I love my mom, right? And you be like, I love my mom because, and you be like, why? Because it's my mom, nigga. Of course I love my mom. Yeah, but why? Because you could say, I love my dad because it's my dad. And I could say, well, my dad wasn't my life, so am I supposed to love him because he's my dad, or, but he wasn't in my life? See what I'm saying? So it's not a good point to say this title that they hold, this role in my life that they didn't play, but they hold this title. It doesn't explain why they deserve your love. Do you get where I'm coming? Because it's like, you could say that, oh, I love my dad. Yeah, because he's my dad. Okay, what does he do? Or what is it about him that you love him? And you got to think about that. Damn. Even with your mom, what is it about them that you love them? And as you think about it, because I remember I had this conversation come to me some years ago. I can't remember exactly, but over 5 years. And it was about my mom. And I remember we was going through it, and she had made a statement, I don't think you like me. And I had to think about it, because at first I was like, man, yeah, I like you. You know, you think you just love me, but you don't like me. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? She right. I don't like her. I love her, but I don't like her ass. And then, you know, like is like get along, joy being around you. But love is like this strong connection towards you. And no matter what, I'm going to have this strong feeling about you. Right? Or am I wrong? But that's why we're here to talk about it. Because the thing is, when I'm talking about, is like, when you talk about love and like, two different things. Like is, I enjoy being around you. It's like a friendship type of thing. Love is like, there's this strong connection. That's the way I can explain. If y'all have a different way of explaining it, then go on, put it in the comments and let me know. But the thing is, it's like, we have to understand the difference. And not only understand the difference, understand, well, why do I love? Because you can't just say, I have a strong connection to this person. Why you have a strong connection? Because if it goes to the sense of like, well, because of my mom, well, is it because that you haven't gave up in the fact that you can have a stronger and better bond or connection with that person, with your mom or your dad, because you really in hope? You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but I love her because of my mom. Because I'm supposed to love her. Like, you don't have to love your parents. You don't have to love your friends. You don't have to love anybody in this life. You could really choose who you want to love. But then again, like when I was watching the Game of Thrones, and my baby mama brought it up about Game of Thrones, she was watching it, and it came to my mind is when Jaime said, you don't get to choose who you love in this life. And that's like, damn. Do you or do you not? Because, you know, he fell in love with his sister, which is on some weird shit. But then when you think about it, and you think about other different relationships that you may have seen on TV or really in person, you be like, him or her? And you just can't explain it. Like, you can't explain it why this person loved this person. You can't. And then at times they can't. And that's what I'm getting to this conversation is like, I believe we need to really, really dig deep in why we love the individuals that we love in this life. Like, really try to understand it. And then when you do understand it, and why I'm putting this title up, it's like, it really doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for someone to love their sister. I mean, it makes sense for someone to love their sister, but in that way, he loved his sister sexually and having kids with her, don't make sense. Now, that's an example, and that is a truthful example around in real life. It's not just a TV show, it happens in real life. But if we get past that, stop going to that extreme. Let's go to this point of, man, think about it like this. Like a younger person loving an older person, or an older person loving a young person. And I'm not talking about no pedo type of stuff. But I'm talking about in the sense of like, it's just like, you be like, you're only 21 and this dude's 65, but they're in love. And then that's an extreme. But then when you talk about things of ethnicity or religion and stuff, it's different things. Where different ideologies. But we can all look, forget the extreme point, but we all could point to, even when people, you see somebody with somebody, and you be like, they don't even fit you. They don't even do anything for you, but you love them. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could be so committed to this person and providing for them, but you'll be like, why you provide? Of course they love you, but why do you love them? And in their head or in their minds, for whatever reason, it's like the way they look, this and that, and they have this attachment to like caring for somebody. There's just a whole bunch of things. Even in the sense of, you look at, there's relationships, and let's be real, there are abusive relationships with people where couples, male and females, that put their hands on one another, but they are in love. I've seen it and known of it. I know a friend of mine, his mom, his dad, they loved each other, but they had been abusive towards each other. But nevertheless, it was love. And it's crazy. But then, that's what I'm saying. Like, what I'm getting to is like, it just don't make sense sometimes. Or even most of the times or whatever. Like, some of it is hard to explain. As they say, it's like, I don't even know how to explain, but I just love you. And I'm bringing this here to the forefront, and I'm having these conversations with you guys. It's to have you guys understand this shit is crazy. And I want us to really start to dig deep with the therapy or whatever you gotta do. Okay, why do I love this individual? Like, what is it? Is it an abandonment issue? What is it? Is it, I'm just, attached, or it's just, I just love providing for a specific person this way because it reminds me of my mother and how she need help, and now I'm just trying to help women that was similar to, like, do you think you see where I'm going with this? Because then you get to the point where you make it make sense. And when you make it make sense, then you kind of look at yourself and be like, you may be like, fuck it, or you may be like, I don't like what I'm discovering here about myself, so I want to make some changes. You feel me? Yeah. I don't know what that is. But anyways, that's what it comes down to. Is really digging deep into why you love people. Because this is what I'll tell you this. And this is what I know for most people, at least. You can't explain why you love some individuals, but I guarantee that there's somebody or just some specific individuals in your life that you love that you can explain why you love them. And I say start there. When you can explain, oh yeah, because I love it. This and that. That's my dog. That's my girl. That's my... Cool. All right. Well, now that we explain what we can't easily explain, then go through that first. Write it on paper. And then after you do that, go to the people that you can't explain. And then I want you to write pros and cons about them. Things you like about them, things you don't like about them. You know what I'm saying? And then kind of figure it out. Then if you can't figure it out from there, write down the experiences you guys went through. The good experiences and the bad experiences. I'm telling you, try this exercise. Pros and cons of what you like and don't like about them. And then write about the good experience you had with them, the bad experience you had with them. Because I believe some of you may be like, damn, I have don't have that many pros. I have too many cons. And then you look at it and you're like, experiences, I have more bad experience than good experience. But I love this person dearly. We have people like that in our lives. And what I'm trying to get you to do is reveal that and look at it on paper. See it. Believe it. Understand it. And then really, it will really help you understand yourself. And you may not like the information or what you're discovering about yourself, but nevertheless, you are discovering the truth. And knowing the truth is going to help you with growth. It's going to help you. I'm telling you. It's just like, man. So, man, really take your time to understand why you like people. Because that sometimes I think it just don't make sense. It don't. You'll be like, damn, I shouldn't even have this person in my life, but I love them. And then you look at yourself like, shit. Right? Right. So, you know what I'm gonna do? We reached like the 15-minute mark. And what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put on, not put on, what the fuck am I talking about? But I like this. What's that? No, we gotta go do that. Boom, boom. And what I'm doing right now, this is interesting. Video mode only. Swipe left, show content. I'm new to all this, but I'm, doing my thing. This is interesting. Now, what I will tell you, what will be cool, I'll do a poem. Keep going. All right, so I had recorded some poems of the week and posted them. So I might as well do it live too as well, right? The first one. And these are more of sensual poems or intimate poems or whatever you want to call it. Not particularly just love poems, which I have love poems in my arsenal, and I did a love poem last week, My World. And since we talking about love and things of that nature, let's do one of those. Let me clear my nose there. All right. This one is titled Intimacy. Kept it simple. Intimacy. How do you like it? How do you love it? How do you want it? Or how badly do you need it? Do you crave for it or do you fiend for it? Come closer near. Let the temperature of the temptation rise beyond your fears. Feel the pleasurable tension ready for my eyes as I sense the sexual heat rising from between your thighs. My hand caresses up your thighs. The beating of your heart rises and rises. My other hand grips upon your neck. I get a strong feeling that this is something you already expect. Affection. Something we may lack for a while. Truth or dare, but I'm daring to make your world go wild. Truth is truth. I'm tempted to play rough. Dare, I'm daring to see if you can handle this stuff. Intimacy. The most euphoric time to sweat. My body upon your body with no regret. A must to go beyond the tip. Each stroke you take a bite harder, harder upon my lip. The climax is here, so scream, yell, scratch if you need. Because after this peak, the stroking will continue to proceed. Now again, the build up, the rush to the sexual sensation. Each stroke in this tongue will have you questioning my occupation. In and out, in and out. We lock eyes again to begin another round. We squeeze each other tighter and tighter as I go deeper and deeper inside her. We get primal and more primal. Our second climax together becomes spiritually vital. Now know that intimacy don't stop after I come. Aftercare is a must that I give after I get some. See, I could turn you over to supply a massage upon your back. Or we could shower together with a rubbing and scrubbing with surely not lack. We could eat while watching a show to complete rest. Or we could simply hold each other. Inhale. Exhale. As you lay your head upon my chest. See, intimacy is a must. To go beyond sex, a woman deserves to be treated better than an object. Board games or cards is something that we can play. Or walking through the beach, holding hands, admiring the sunset in the day. We could go out for lunch and laugh at our stories of the past. Or I could cook dinner while we dance naked to the music on full blast. Now these moments become the foundation to our emotional building blocks. This quality time spent together will tick and tock forever beyond all clocks. Now, let our intimacy go beyond the physical touch of human nature. Let our affection grow into something major. Let our attachment scream as loud as we want. Let our togetherness reveal itself up front. Intimacy, the feel for our needs. Intimacy is what we all want, crave, and dearly need. All right. Excuse Lola, my dog. She's protecting the house. And this little thing, one of my kittens, is just a snuggle kitten, whatever. But anyways, let me get some more points into what I'm talking about. But it's like, man, let me think about people I love in my life. Like, dude, my friends, I'll start off there. I know you're like, you start off with your friends, you don't just keep your family. Let me bring you somewhere. So, I start off with my friends because, damn, I forget his page, but, for me on my content, I follow people, inspirational people, and people that just make sense and talk some real shit and gives you a good view and perspective on life to have you think. And that's what I like to do on this channel. And so what I'm saying is, I was listening to this guy. He said you have 3 families. You have the family that you're born with, your mother, father, blah, 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 your immediate family. And then you have the family you create with your partner, your kids, and blah, blah, blah. And then you have your other family, your brotherhood, right? And so finally what I'm talking about is my brotherhood, my friends, good friends. And see, I'm not talking about the friends that's just out here doing bullshit. I'm talking about friends that actually striving with the purpose to play a role and make an impact in their lives and in lives in general. And dude, like, we all have went through it. We went through times, and I'll explain this because I'm already explaining. But it's like when you ask me why do I love my friends, it's because it's shown and approved, because it's like as growing up, it's always like you can't trust everybody, this, and that. You can't even trust your friends because, you never know, they may turn their back on you for certain situations in this. But with my main friends, we had it's shown and approved. That's what we always say, shown and approved. We had went through it with each other, like with our arguments and everything. But not even that, through life situations where when one was up and the others were down, the one that was up, hey, I got y'all. And then once that person was down and one of the other ones was up, hey, I got y'all. Like it went that way with all of us. So it's shown and proved that we've been there and looked out for one another. And looked out for one another's family members. You know what I'm saying? I helped out my homie's mom. I helped out my homies. Like, we went through things, man. And not only that we went through things, we helped each other out. But one big thing is that we always strive to be better and to be in a better position in life and to grow. Like, if you ain't around people that's trying to grow and become a better individual, like the way we think, the way we speak and everything is now is much more different. The way we move is much more different than we were when we were 16, 18, 21, 25, 28, so on. And now as I stand here as a 34-year-old man, like I tell you, like, dude, the journey it's been a journey. Filled with ups and downs like any other journey. From any other, I'm not special. I ain't go through anything so significant where others haven't went through. But I tell you this, I am blessed that I have good friends in my life that shown and approved their lives. And there's one thing about this, my friendship, why I love them too. It's like every single one of us, when we was like, hey, help me out with this, help me out, can I borrow this money, or whatever, we need help, we will do it. We will help each other out without question. And we'll actually call one another like, hey, I got some money, do you need some money? Or do you need help with blah, blah, blah? We'll reach out to make sure. I know you've been doing this, need some help with it? Like, how many people do that? And then the one biggest thing too is that when they call, like they call me and I'll be like, I ain't got it. Then it's like, all right, cool, no problem. And they'll go figure it out. Same with me. I ask them, they'll be like, I ain't got it right now. I'll be like, all right, don't worry, I'll figure it out. Like, we always said that, I'll figure it out. Like, I'm like, that's what our friend, like, it's strong. Like, there's no entitlement in our friendship. There's just an understanding. That's what makes a friendship strong. There's an understanding about who one another is and where we stand and where our intention is in life for one another. And that's what it's all about. And that's why I'm talking about the love of things. Like, my love goes deep. Our love goes deep for one another. You know, it's at the point where we can say it. You know, we kind of like, we are tainted with the old school ways of things, of not being able to say shit like that when we say it. But when we say it, like, I love you, I love you, but fuck you. But it's like, just say the love you part, right? But nevertheless, we breaking through barriers. Yeah, man. Like, that's, and see, what I'm explaining, or what I explained to you is why I love them. And I want to give you with this. And I want to leave you with this. As a person that grew up loving his family, and grew up being hurt by his family. And not by all of them, but family members. And seeing that not all your family members are your family members. And being hurt and betrayed in a way, and seeing how it really is in life, that you would hear the blood is thicker than water. But I want to tell you this, what I've always said, what I've said since I was young, and when I went through the experience, ended up in foster care, and went through these experiences in life, they say blood is thicker than water. What I say, blood may be thicker than water, but it's not always pure than that water. And I would tell motherfuckers, I have friends that I'll ride for over family members. Because I don't feel the family, like, I'm not, we connected through blood. That's not really special in my eyes. But what's really, truly special connections when you connected to somebody spiritually. And that's through the experiences that you went through with one another. Because when you're raised up with your brothers and sisters, right? I'm explaining to you. When you raised up with your brothers and sisters, you're really close to them. It's not because you're blood. It's because you went through things with them. Ups and downs, arguments, agreements, having each other's back. You went through things. It's not because you're blood. It's because the experience you had with one another. That's what it comes down to. Because if you're a person like me, I have a brother and I grew up with him. I have the two sisters. I didn't really grow up with them, but I did. Kinda. I was still evolving in life. But in those are two sisters, one brother with my mom. But then I have brothers and sisters from my dad's side. And my brother, he has brothers and sisters from my sisters, they have brothers and sisters from they, right? But I didn't grow up with my brothers and sisters outside of my dad. And I don't have that same connection. Yeah, we blood, but I don't have that same connection. And that's not saying I hate them or I look at them. It's just a true fact. My connection with them is not deep. Your connection with who you deep with is because of the experience you went. Like when I tell you about my friends, and I start off with my friends, we have went through so much with each other. Ups and downs, cries and cheers and jeers and all that shit. Letdowns and everything. We saw each other at our worst. Oh my, seen each other through our heartbreaks, seen each other through our success, our accomplishments, and our failures. And picked one another up. And that's what I'm saying. Like people, that's what I'm getting to when I said, why love don't make sense. Because you love this person because of what? So what? And when I'm bringing that up, I'm telling you, make it make sense. And if you ain't gonna make it make sense, just call it for what it is. It's because they held this title. It's because they're my mom. And I'm looking for love within them. It really ain't love. I just want to be loved by my mom. I want to be loved by my dad. Whatever it is. But there's just some type of truth that we need to understand when it comes to the connection and the relationship we have with individuals in our lives. I'm really serious about that, dog. And that's why I'm bringing up this conversation. That's why I talked about it. That's why I brought my friends. Because, dog, I ride and died with them. We still going through it. And we have accomplished many things. Friend graduated college. Another friend is trending up in the Army. Another friend is very wise within technology and moving up within that. And then another friend owned his own business with the cars and stuff like that and got his own shop. Like, we have been friends before. Those accomplishments, to see our development of one of my friends managing his anger management better, another one of my friends being able to speak up for himself and even myself, and another friend being able to, communicate in a much manageable way, but not so real and raw, but in a manageable way to present it better, and to see them in their relationships with who they with, and so on. It's just like, dude, I'll put it like this. You love players, like basketball, football players that you root for. Why? It's because you respect their game, you respect their effort, and you went through the journey with them. You love your favorite basketball, football team. Why? Because you was rooting for that team through the ups and downs. And you have a connection to that. In movies, TV shows, you like, this is your favorite character in that show. Why? Something relatable and you root for them. But you could explain why. Explain why you love this person in your life. Because going through that, explaining why, will reveal a lot to you. It will go past the surface and go deep and reveal what hasn't been seen or what haven't really been acknowledged, what's been neglected. It will reveal. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Yeah, it may hurt, but the hurt is perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Because the pain is growth. And once you know the truth, you will be able to grow. And once you understand the pain, you'll be able to grow. And where it comes from, you'll be able to grow. So, I'll leave that to y'all. Why love don't make sense? Why it doesn't? Is because we don't make it make sense. And that's why. You need to make it make sense. For each and every individual is different. So whatever relationship you have with whatever the individual is, you need to make it make sense. You need to be honest with yourself and say, but the reason why I love this person is because of hope. I hope that they will love me as much as I love them. And hopefully you understand that that's a bad bet. But nevertheless, you understand it's a bet. It's a gamble. And that's what I'm trying to get you guys to understand. Love don't make sense because you don't make it make sense. You make it make sense with certain other individuals. With certain individuals you don't. And you just say, I love them. And you go back to that relationship and you get abused physically. You get abused mentally. You get abused verbally. You get abused sexually. Yeah. It sucks and hurts. And I go deep. But I'm telling you, you have to make it make sense. Because when you make it make sense, you understand where you need to work. And you understand you're working on you. That's where you need to work on. You need to work on your perspective, on life, on individuals that's in your life that you say you love. You need to work on your perspective on how you see how things need to be. Because we try to force things to work out the way we hoped for. And that's the problem. We hoped for. Save your hopes for your prayers. Save your hopes for your prayers. But when it comes to how you conduct yourself in life and how you move strategically in an appropriate way that you're going to keep your own heart safe. Because if you're like me, I've been hurt enough. And I'm sure many of you has been hurt way more than me. But I'm learning to love myself so much to fight to prevent myself from being hurt the same way I've been hurt before. And it's tough and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. Even though it's a struggle, or it's challenging, or whatever, it's worth it. It's worth it to understand why. Why? Like I said, love don't make sense till you make it make sense. Once you make it make sense, what you may be really scared is that you may stop loving this individual or these people because you're like, it really don't make sense and it really comes deep between how I feel or what I went through traumatically in my life. And now you're at a crossroads where you're like, I have to let these people go out of my life. And it's okay. And I tell you this, even if you had to let go, you had to leave and become new and all that, you could still love those people and not have them in your life. I have a brother of mine I love my brother. This is my foster brother that we met in the foster system. Was foster brothers. And I just call him my brother. I don't mention foster brother, but I'm mentioning it now so you can understand the context clearly and understand how deep and impactful it is. I love him, but we don't get along. We were so cool and so close, and we looked like real blood brothers, and people believed it. And we went along with it because we were brothers, and we went through so many things together, and that's why our bond was more so strained, because we went through so much things together, and we understood one another. We related, we got along, we vibed well, everything. And I miss him. I love him. And I do wish I could have him back in my life. But with what happened and what went down, I can't have him in my life. And it's not for me to make things amends because I didn't do anything. He knows what he did. I won't get into the details, but it just gets deep, and I want you to understand. I lost a brother in my life. And I know the reason why I love him, but I understand that for what was going on at the time and moment, it wasn't good. And when you get to a point, there's a point where they have to make it right. They got to do the work to make amends. They had to do the work. He didn't do the work. He just moved on. And I know he loves me. He still loves me. But nevertheless, many of you may not want to dig in that deep, because I have to dig in deep and say, do I still love him? Yes. And that's why I'm bringing this up, because even in that point, you may be feeling at a point where you're like, man, I'm at a point where I'm not about to love this person no more, and I'm about to let them go. And that's true. But there's also, like with my brother, even though I had to let him go out of my life, I still love him dearly. That's my brother. That's my brother. But you can still love somebody and not have them in your life no more. Now make that make sense, right? Like I said, love don't make sense. Maybe one of these days I'll talk about it more in depth. But it's like if you've been hurt by somebody, like there's people that's been oh, let me tell you this. This is a good one where it comes to, well, this is not exactly love, but this is, maybe it's a little bit of love. But it gotta be like with behavior, and it kind of goes together, because it's like kind of how, like, as humans, we don't make sense. And the decisions that we make and why we do the things we do. Have you seen the movie Watchmen? In Watchmen, the dude that was going to destroy it, like the earth or whatever, not the earth, but the more powerful being, whatever, dude, that could do anything and destroy anything. There was in a moment, so in the movie, there's the Joker. The Joker is the dude, he's always joking and laughing, and he was like a mercenary, just killing shit. And then there was one of the females on there. She was one of the heroes on there too. They had an operation where they had all these heroes, and they would go out and they fought their wars for them. And then within that time frame, or whenever it would happen, I know I may be butchering some shit, but I'm trying to get the gist of everything so you can understand. But within all that, there's the female and there's the Joker. He's not the Joker, like the Joker in Batman, but he was one of the dudes. He's always joking around, but he was a violent and dope soldier and a superhero, and people loved him. There was a moment where, you know, drinking, drugs, whatever, whatever takes over him, and he ended up raping the girl. She was one of the superheroes too, and he ended up raping her. Now what happens after that? So the girl, she was connected in a way to, you know, she had a daughter, and daughter was connected, or daughter was with the powerful being type of dude that could destroy and do anything. But he eventually ended up finding out not only, it's crazy because she got raped by him and it was a big deal and it fucked her up. But she ended up going back to him and having sex with him and having a baby by the dude. And the dude cannot understand why he did that. And then he had his daughter, which his daughter was them. Her daughter was the girl that he was having a relationship with. And it was kind of hard because he was this all-powerful being and it was his daughter. And he was like, what the fuck? Why would your mom do that? Why would she have this person just take advantage of her? And she was still go. And he was like, I just don't understand humans and why it just don't make sense, right? And that's, in a sense, we're not exactly talking about love because I don't know if she loved him or not. Because like they got along and there was like flirting, blah, blah, blah. But then there was a moment when he was raping her. And then she ended up eventually going back to him and still, I gotta watch the movie again. But the thing is, the point is like this. There's things that we do that just don't make sense. If we get in depth of why we do the things we do, then we understand the trauma and understand where it comes from our childhood, and from the things that's happened, abandonment, abuse, all type of shit, right? And then we'll make it make sense. And then we can kind of like work on ourselves. And that's what I'm getting to also as well with this love shit. Why do you love this person? Make it make sense. And once you make it make sense, you have to make a tough decision. And after making this tough decision, you have to move forward. And moving forward, I'll tell you, is a transition to bettering yourself, to being a better you. It is. You won't have to deal with the nonsense no more. I'm really being truthful with you, man. It's tough with you. Everything and every transition is tough. Like when you're moving out from one house to another, it's tough, right? And once you get in, you settle in, you got organized everything, things become smoother. Like, it's just, you know, I want to leave that with y'all. Think about that, check that out, check out that movie, Watchmen, one of my favorite movies. But, like I said, came here, brought you here to make sense of love, to ask that question, so you can ask yourself that question. Make sense of why you love the individuals in your life and understand it. Once you understand it, then do as you will with it. If you still want to love this person, even though they don't deserve the love, fine. But long as you understand, and then understand where it comes from and why. Because that can help you prevent yourself from being hurt more. Because I still love my brother, but I'm not being hurt by him no more. And so, let's make love make sense again, y'all. Let's make it make sense. Again, much love from the Afro One. Appreciate y'all tuning in, checking me out. Love with you. Peace.